there's a story that is always with me that I read about Buckminster Fuller, where he was talking to his son, a grandson, and the son was asking, where, when we burn the wood in the fireplace, what makes the fire? And Buckminster Fuller, being who he is, said, no. Once that log in the fire was a tree in the forest. And when it was doing that, it was rooted in the ground, and the leaves were reaching toward the sky. It was taking in the sunlight, and it stored that sunlight inside of it. So now, when it's on in the fireplace, what you see as fire is the sunlight being liberated. See? So that's what happens for us in our soul light. Just like in nature, the sun is the generator. It's the light that comes in and is turned into energy and turned into corporations inside of us. And so in these bodies, they love the sun. They need a certain amount of sun to get certain vitamins. So we absorb it too in the physical body. But then we also have this soul light. See? So when we take this soul light and shine it onto life, we do experiences, we decide things, we make things, we create things, we do projects. And in that, we're investing into that, our soul light. And so when we reverse that process and make a judgment against ourselves, like we're unworthy, incapable, small, take our replicate self and start colluding with everybody to keep that looking like it's true. See, that light's stuck in there. So when we deconstruct, when we get disoriented, it frees the light. And this seems to be one of the themes across the planet now. One of the zeitgeist is people losing their fear and bringing up. There's some of it at great turmoil and great cost. And so that's in our reality too. So we're always, we don't know what's happening there, so we keep loving it and keep holding for it, and we keep looking at our own life and see, is there any way in me that I still want to dominate others' resources to cause them to be in servitude for me to get my energy. Anytime we get out of balance and get too involved in getting our energy from how we control others, or getting our self-esteem how we control others, we move away from that resource inside, that inner sun. See? And then we feel like victims, and victims always feel like they're owed. See, so they're out of their center. So then we also build a best case scenario. What's the best case? Well, the best case is how it's going to be. The best case is our destiny. It's our fulfillment. We have to choose it, though. See? It's always a test. You have to choose it. So from our soul light, we can move out in a way that illuminates, and we see the choice. When we're looking through a blinder or a place we still have a confusion or distortion, we may miss something. But life, in its generosity, you don't demand the debt be paid. That's the old karmic way. See, it comes around, and it's going to bring you an event or an experience in which you're challenged in a way that when you get through that, that will be removed, and you can see. And you know what to do. So we begin to court our lover, which is life, the life of the soul, approaching the life of the soul. So this is the secret about us. And this is always the agenda in everything. See, there's this thing where when we bring, see, the light is in everything. So when we bring our light forward, it activates that. So instead of trying to fix or challenge the thing that's not working or resolve, see, we hit against it. When we approach it from our soul light, it starts to activate the soul light or the sunlight, whether it's magnetic or spiritual, in that form. And it starts to move. And that movement starts to liberate itself from within. So when you can manage this dance of being the personality that's present and that people see and react to, and also be the soul present. So in your ego level, your persona, you engage the situation. You interact with people, you have conversations. But in the soul life, you're talking to their soul. So there's this collaboration internally. And that process starts to give you insight and rapport. Sometimes just respecting someone and hearing their story is enough to make that link. But you're looking for how that person already has the wisdom. And so you ask the questions, what about this? What about this? And that begins to draw that out. And so since you have no agenda to prove yourself or to gain self-esteem, in other words, you have no motives that life owes you, you're always calling forward the abundance within them. So within your interaction with people and your projects, that you're activating this inner core that people have. Sometimes it takes a while to bring it out, but the nice thing about human activity is what the project does. The project is a scenario for bringing out the soul light in people. So that starts to coach them in a different center. And that starts to convert the areas that they've trapped themselves away and liberate themselves. See? So when you engage your paper, this is what you're about in that process of discovery. So it becomes a way to give yourself to yourself. We have this experience of time and duality. And it's very valuable to us because it allows us to sort out the pieces and build consciousness. But we're also made to participate in this soulic self and to collaborate at that level. And so we're practicing these things to convert ourselves into persons that come out from our heart, come out from our level. And what that does is organize the fabric of ourself to have a synergy or consistency with that loving. And that way there's optimum internal communication. And you're in a position to start to engage people from inside of them as collaborators. So instead of demanding of the personality what you owe me, whether it's allegiance, whether it's obedience, whether it's money, see, that goes on as a state of commerce. But what we're really doing is, here's the sun, here's the soul light. And this is how it's always making more. There'll always be the resource.